Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 503. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer. I'm thinking about changing my name to Corey to everything. I don't know if I should. I'm very scared. Alongside the one and only Mr. Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm thinking about changing my name to Crash. Yeah.
You are Crash. That's literally your name.
Good point. I'm doing fantastic.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
We also have, obviously, the man on the ones and twos. It's Mr. Paul Despawn.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Matt.
And Matt is here. He is back from the dead, like Hobson said in a song. Was it Hobson? Back from the dead. I'm back from the dead. That one, Hobson. Who sung that?
I don't know, but we're going to get content flagged.
There was a song. Matt, how are you? You're here. Hello.
I'm very well. I'm back. It's good to be back.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Sure.
You know what? You know what's a bit weird is like because we've had the rebrand and stuff, and I look at the channel now, and I'm like, oh man, it looks so good, and look at all this content that I'm not on. Unacceptable. Okay.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. Yeah. But you're the one too busy.
Hey, look, I'll be the first to hold up my hands. It's the best stuff we've ever made. Is that because I'm not on it? I mean,
no, it's because Despawn's doing all the work.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But it looks great.
I will to pat Despawn on the back. Brand new review out now. Avowed review out right now. I think it is Despawn's best review. Go and watch it, like it, comment, all that good stuff. Preview coverage was amazing from you, Matt. To be fair, you was on that. You did that. That was all you.
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight.
There it is.
That was all you, to be fair. Yeah, I'm just really happy where we are with content. We still got our goals that we need to deliver, which we just spoke about before this podcast. They're coming, I promise. They're in the works. There was a big mistake. Let's just be open and honest. I think it's probably good to do, right? I messed up. I made a big mistake. We have recorded our D&D, my D&D and me, the Resident Evil episode, which you guys will get very, very soon. But I did accidentally record everybody's audio and not just my own audio. And that has made the edit probably 20 million times harder. Anyone who's ever edited footage before will understand what I'm saying. So I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. And that is all we're going to say. I'm sorry. But this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/My Xbox and Me. And of course, it's actually not. It's mxam.co.uk. Across all platforms. Go hit us up over at MXAM Official. You'll find us on X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all of that good stuff. Chris did a live stream. Over on Twitch and YouTube. He played a bit of Avowed, which we'll hear about a bit later, but you can go follow us over on Twitch as well. More live streams to come. I almost played a little video game we're going to talk about right now, which is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza over there, which is our topic of the show. Full transparency, thank you to Gelmont. They sent me a code for the game. Appreciate them for sending that out to me early. Who's played Yakuza Like a Dragon Hawaii? Pirate Hawaii. Just me and you, Despawn. Good. Only people that need to worry. The only two people that need to worry about it, because Crash will get to it. Crash will play it next week. Play the start of it. Let me land. Play the start of it. Well, you're not playing it.
I have no intention. I've said this before the game came out. I have no intention.
I know, but you haven't heard what I'm about to say.
Okay, yeah. Go.
Probably my game of the year. What a phenomenal game. I am so shocked they've managed to do it again. I have to say. Yeah, so for those of you all know what the hell we're talking about, if we're talking about this game, you've clicked this video. I kind of wanted to not like it. I wanted to go into this game in a way of like, and there's a reason behind that because I'm also playing Avowed. And spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about it later. I'm loving Avowed as well, but we'll get to that. Kind of wanted to go into this like, this is not going to be as good as the Like a Dragon games I've played. It's not turn-based. It's not going to have the big expansive worlds. The story's not going to be there. And I was wrong. The gameplay, I remember I'm coming at this from a position of I haven't played the previous Yakuza games or Judgment, right? So this combat system to me is brand spanking new for this world. So that's how you have to understand the way I'm talking about it. That's how I am perceiving it. So it's a brand new combat system. To me, it's like the evolution of like a Streets of Rage. And it's not obviously not side scrolling, obviously, but if you understand what I mean, like that run around beat 'em up style game. it's just so good, Despawn. Like, I want to like have a back and forth between us. You're a little bit deeper than I am. I've put about 5 hours in. How are you feeling about it initially?
Same. Pretty much, yeah. I'm in a similar situation of you. So I've played little bits of all the earlier games. Like I've tried to get it because they're on Game Pass, so you can pretty much jump in and out of them. I think the one I've put the most time into outside of Infinite Wealth is probably Kiwami. Which again is similar to this kind of fighting style. So I'm not coming into it as like fresh off of a turn-based game. So but it is very much, if you have played Infinite Wealth, you know the way that the world works, the story works, the kind of humor that they've got in here. But again, the things that they're bringing that are new are so fun, like pirate naval combat, things like that. Just the story that they're telling, it's got so much more fun to it than I think Infinite Wealth had. Like Infinite Wealth had some. I'm sure this is going to get into some serious parts as we get into it later on. But where I'm at right now, it is very much just playing into the fun of Goro Majima as a character, which is ridiculousness. And yeah, I'm having fun with it.
It is, but it isn't. For me, and that's kind of the point of the character in this story. I feel like this is the perfect, like Infinite Wealth. To me, felt like very much a reset for that world, like for the Yakuza world of like, hey, you're someone new jumping into this world. I'm going to tell you about. Obviously, we got Ichiban, who's like our new guy. We love him. Everyone loves him. But we've got these other characters that, if you know the series, you're going to know these characters. But if not, we're going to tell this story in a way that allows you to digest it, but also understand and respect the history. This game does that again, but even better with the whole amnesia stuff. Yeah. Like that whole, it's such a refresh. When I saw this game, I was like, oh, I'm going to play it. I love this world. I'm going to try it out, right? But I was nervous about these characters because I was like, I don't know this character. Like the way that everybody's excited about this character being back, et cetera, I didn't know it. They are telling me a story in such a fun, interesting, cool way that allows me to digest it and learn about the character as the character learns about themselves. Which I think is remarkable. It's such good storytelling because if you're someone like us or me, I should say specifically, who's come in and doesn't understand it, you're like, oh man, this might not hit, but it hits on every single level so far.
Yeah, I think there's a risk when, the amnesia storyline is a huge trope in video games. Yeah. It's very easy to be cliched. And to an extent it is a little bit, but I think the way that they run with it and what they do with, like you said, like the way that you're learning about the character and the world and like his characteristics still shine through even when he's not aware of who he is himself. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah, no, 100%. You spoke about naval combat. That was another thing that obviously I was quite nervous about, as I'm not someone who's really into pirate ships and pirate games and stuff like that. Obviously played Skull and Bones, never got to the ship combat in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so I didn't love that game at the start of it for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm sure I'd go back and play it. I'm sure I'd go back and play it now and love it, to be honest with you. But just back then, it probably hit at a time just when I wasn't in the mood for that game, so I made up an excuse to go, I'm not into it. The ship combat is so arcadey and fun, and I was worried about, when you think of a pirate ship, you think very slow pace, very boring, this is like, oh no, we've got our wind tunnels. I think
there's a boost button. Yeah.
There's a boost button. No, we are getting you to your landmarks. As quickly as you can. You can spend as much time or as little time traversing to these different islands where the treasure islands are, which are kind of like the dungeons in Infinite Wealth, is how I've sort of equated it to it in a way of like, you go to an island, the objective is to get to the treasure, you'll go through, you'll beat up a bunch of people, you'll beat up a barricades, which gets you to the next bit, then you beat them up, that gets you to the next bit, boom, there's your treasure. That's what I've got to experience so far. But it just all works is the best way to say it. And like the way this game has come together in not only a short amount of time, by the way, because the turnaround time on this game was absolutely ridiculous, but the reuse assets, which we all know they've done, right? it is done in such a smart way where I think we're going to see the games industry. I don't know where this is a AAA game, obviously, right? Sega, it's a huge AAA game, but I feel like we're going to see more developers do this. But I'm interested to see who's going to do it well and who's going to get a lot of backlash, because this game does it phenomenally. Ridiculous. Go on, Matt. Go on.
I think one of the, like, we talked about it a long time when Hogwarts Legacy came out, of like, you did it. You nailed the castle. You built the world. Give me a new story every 2 years, right? It sounds like that studio is now, you know, full pelt on the next Hogwarts game. But yeah, I agree. I think like in general, the industry obviously went through a pretty shitty 2 years. How can we make the best of, you know, what the resource that we have now, and how can we reutilize stuff? So it's interesting to hear that, and I think it is a trend that we'll see.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, RGG Studio are well known for doing this. Like, they've reused Kamurocho, like the city, in pretty much every game. It just gets a refresh, and I think. Without spoiling anything, I mean, it's like chapter 2. They talk about going back to Honolulu. I think we're going to start seeing them reusing Hawaii in this one. So I think we're going to, I think they're just really good at it. But I think the thing is, like you say, like, who's going to do it well and who's going to do it terribly, is I think it's because RGG basically build new mechanics and new fun things within their world that, like, you don't care. Like, it's like, I'm happy to be back in, like, the same area because I know there's a whole bunch of new things I'm going to get to do within that area.
100%. And you know what else it is? It's even the things that you can go, oh, that's a reskin, like the baseball game, right? The baseball game is very obviously a reskin of the baseball game. Sorry, I should say the pirate bomb game, which is obviously a reskin of the baseball game. But it's done in such a nice way with a tiny little add-on to it, which is obviously, again, no spoilers, and like, that's not a story spoiler, but like you hit bombs cannonballs into barrels, which then you unlock treasure chests. And the new thing is hitting the treasure chest lock, which unlocks it, right? Simple, very easy. It's a very, very much is a reskin, but it works so well in that world. And the way they build you into that is such a fun dialogue between the characters. They're like, yeah, I do want to go and try that out. And yeah, again, that's kind of where I'm at. That town, that area is where I've gotten to.
I've just left that area, so yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
So I'm not that far ahead.
Yeah. So it's just honestly, anyone who played Infinite Wealth, you have to play this. Like, I generally feel that way. Like, it's not a if, but, or maybe. You have to play this. And we haven't spoken about the combat system too much, but again, if that's the biggest issue with the game, I think you're thinking about this game wrong, because that is such it's a big part of the game, but the combat's just really fun. Like, I'm really enjoying saving up my money, and now I've got my pirate level points that I need to then save those to then unlock these new combos. Matt, this is the game for you. Not Infinite Wealth wasn't the game for you. This one you will enjoy way more than you will enjoy Infinite Wealth. 100%.
Well, but this is part of the problem, is that I never tried Infinite Wealth either.
I don't think you need to, though.
Okay. Is this a good jumping in point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it shorter? Is it supposed to be like a shorter experience than Infinite Wealth?
I could find out for you.
As far as I know where it is, it's meant to be 40 hours.
Oh, thank you.
Story-wise, it's meant to be 40 hours.
That sounds great.
Yeah, considering Infinite Wealth was 90 for me, yeah.
All right, well, I might need to...
You need to... No, Matt, you need to play this.
Yeah.
There's
a demo. Play the demo.
Yeah, play the demo.
I haven't played...
progress carry over from the demo?
I believe so.
It better, because it's 2020.
I don't know if it does.
6, everybody.
Check that first.
Okay.
Check that first. But yeah, Crash, you're nuts.
I don't think I'm nuts.
What don't you like about it? What don't you like about
combat? And you saying that the combat doesn't matter is a wild statement.
No.
That is the gameplay.
It's not it matters. It's that
it does matter.
Your issues don't matter.
Go on.
You say it's not the most important thing.
I don't think it is the most important thing of this game, the combat. It's not the reason why. It's not what's keeping me in the game. No. I'm not saying it's not fun, because I do find it fun. I'm choosing to fight people every opportunity that I can, because it's so you're in so quickly and out so quickly.
Yeah,
Into
it's
those moments.
incredibly
I'll put it in
fluid. The way that you can switch on the fly between different combat styles.
Stances, yeah.
I've just got to the point where I've unlocked my second weapon type, which is the again, it's in the trailers, pistol. So now I've got now I can put in long range attacks. You've got aerial attacks, which are super fun. I've not unlocked any of the special attacks that you've seen in the trailers with the giant sharks and stuff like that. Yeah. But I've got like a couple of the smaller things, which are a lot of fun. It's so fluid, so fast paced. It's just a ton of fun to run around and fight things, and it is so fast paced, like. Getting in and out of combat. I hate you. I hate you so much. If you are an audio listener, go jump in at 15 minutes and just watch from there on the YouTube and realize why I'm going to fly to America and slap Crash and fly back. Crash. No, I'm not going to fight him. I'm just going to walk up, slap him, and leave. Not a single word. The New York Star. The New York Hello, yeah. No, actually, the New York Hello is a bit more dramatic at the moment, right? Moving on. Watch the news.
Even Crash is confused.
I'm excited for this game.
Yes.
So maybe this will be the one I hit. Come on.
No.
The problem is, we're in February. I feel like I've already got 7 games from this year in my backlog that I haven't.
What?
What are you going to play?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's one. 40 hours. You can finish that. Less if you streamline it.
40 hours. So 40 hours in Avowed. 40 hours in Like a Dragon Pirate Edition. There's something else as well that I'm forgetting. But
Kingdom Come?
No, I've been putting a lot of time into Kingdom Come. And this is also part of the problem. Look, I know I'm a hypocrite. I know I say I've never got any time to play games. And then I look at my clock in Kingdom Come and I go, well, clearly that's a lie, Matt. You're lying to yourself. And
you play different games, right? You played... No, I don't think it's... Look, we had the conversation before, right? I'm meant to be lead reviewer for MXAM on Pirate Yakuza. Despawn's already passed me. We all play games at very different rates. And we all play games in different times, right? And it's just one of those things. I just think you again, Matt. There's going to be 4 indie games that come out that end up on your top 10 list at the end of the year. That me and Chris are going to go. We don't even know what that game is. Yeah. By the way, still haven't played Lost Record.
Yeah, me neither. There you go. There's
another
one.
That yet.
Yep.
But that's what's 3 hours.
First episode, net 3, so I think it's short. I think
2.
It's 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well there you
2
go.
episodes.
We'll knock that out in one playthrough, you would have thought. But yeah. But anyway, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Fantastic. Cannot wait to talk more about it next week. Go on, Despawn. Why are you looking so menacing?
Fantastic, huh?
Fantastic.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh no, I didn't mix my words.
Okay, then. Words have meaning. Yeah.
Words do have meaning, Despawn. Words do have meaning. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, cool. Should we get into what's been in our box? What we've been playing this week? Matt, we haven't heard from you too much, so we'll start with you. What have you been playing?
Well, I just alluded to it. The only thing I've been playing is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And my golly gosh, this is a game that came out of nowhere for me and is quite a special game.
Came out of nowhere?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I never heard of the original. I get
really?
It's got its cult following and people really love it. I think it launched in a really bad state, right? And they've updated and
one? No.
Really, yeah.
No, one was great.
Was a cult hit as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
It just didn't blow up that big.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take it back. I'm pretty sure it launched in a bad state, but we'll move on. We'll move on.
I don't remember it launching in a bad state. What do we count as a bad state nowadays? Are we talking No Man's Sky? Are we talking Cyberpunk?
I don't think that bad. I don't think
that's a bad state.
I would say that's a bad state.
A couple bad bugs do not count as a bad state in a game of this magnitude or size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, fair enough. But Kingdom Come 2, special. And launched in a good state. I had a lot of graphical issues and stuff, but they gave reviewers copies for this a month in advance, I think.
Mm-hmm. Must be nice. Must be nice. I didn't get
a month in advance.
I did.
Oh, they didn't whitelist you?
They just didn't whitelist me, so I couldn't play it.
Yeah. That's gonna suck. But it's great. It is obtuse in all the best ways and far too complicated in certain areas. And like making potions is a whole thing. If you want to make potions for a day, you're spending a day making potions. There's a 12-step ingredient list that you can't easily check as you're making it, and you need to it's a nightmare. But it's also really good fun and quite immersive and I like it a lot. Yeah, it's a bizarre game, but I love it. Has anybody put any time into it apart from me?
Nope.
I literally got turned away from it. So they sent me a copy of the game about a month in advance. It might be a couple of weeks to be fair. And I was like, perfect. This is dropped. I've got this game at the absolute perfect time to play this, review it, get through it, sort of thing. And obviously, the mishap of it not getting whitelisted, so I couldn't actually play it. So it came out, and then everything else dropped on top of it. I was just like, sorry, I might get back to you again if I need to. And again, it's reviewing very well. It's definitely reviewing well, but it's also one of those games that I've been watching people play, and I'm like, that combat system does nothing for me at all.
So yeah,
like a Dragon for Crush.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. The thing. Sorry, go on, Crash. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna mention it, but I was like, I'm not gonna mention it right now. We're tight on time.
Yeah, I mean, I did see Kingdom Come and think that, oh, this is 100% a medieval Like a Dragon. Yeah.
I think if you've played the first one, I think there's like a thing that is like you have a character reset, you know, like you have to forget everything you knew from the first one so that you can learn all those abilities again and stuff. And I think some people have complained about that, which I guess is fine. There is the combat is obviously very slow and very methodical and very, quote unquote realistic for the time period or whatever. There is like a counter that you can learn quite early on. And as soon as you learn that is all the combat becomes, is trying to pull off that counter, at least for me, because you have so little stamina in the game that 4 or 5 swings and you're gassed and you need to way backtrack and stuff. But I've still fought groups of 8 people and managed to do it. You've just really got to think about positioning and trying to get yourself with one person and get everybody else behind that person so they can't just rush you and attack you, and which I kind of love. There are ultimately situations you can get yourself into that it's game over. You may as well reload an old save and hope that it wasn't that far ago and figure out a different way to tackle the situation. But yeah, I love it. And I think early on, it really punishes you in those situations. Early on, it does not want you getting into fights. It does not want, you are overwhelmed constantly. There was a mission early on, I think it was a side mission, where I had to go and get a horse from a bandit camp. So I okay, I'm gonna go at night, I'm gonna take off all my armor, I'm gonna be super stealthy. I get there, there's 15 people in this bandit camp. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'll wait until 3 a.m. I'll run in, get the horse, and run out. Because they only have 2 people on guard. And so everybody else is still waking up and figuring out what's going on. But there's no way I can fight my way through this thing. And it's stuff like that I absolutely love. The way that you can interact with this world is almost second to none. I can't think of many other games. Putting it in the same camp as a Baldur's Gate, I think, is dangerous. But we're almost there. I could have gone into that bandit camp, poisoned their food, waited till the next day. A load of them would have been dead or shitting themselves in a lake somewhere and gone and installed it that way. And so we're almost on those Baldur's Gate levels of stuff. I think that's probably pushing it slightly too far, but it's really cool. It's really cool.
It's from what I've gathered, it's the GTA of its time period, right? That's what it is. Like you just said, you're using time, the world clock time to make the real world decisions.
Yes.
Which is huge. I think that in any game, because the story in itself, right? The fact that the game lets you do that and your mind goes to that place of oh, let me check not my watch, but let me check the time right now.
Yeah. Let me check my sundial.
Yeah,
even people's schedules. It's oh, I need to steal this thing from this person. Well, they drink late in the tavern and play dice. But all day they're in their house. So I can't, there's stuff like that all the time throughout this stuff, which is really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. I think from what I've seen of it, I think the hyper realism of it all is just next level. I think I saw work related, but I think one of our teams put out a clip where they failed stealth because they hadn't had a shower in a few days, and the guards smelled them.
Smell it.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Crazy.
It's like,
Crazy.
yeah, like there's things like that made me want to check it out, but then it's like, I'm playing games that are fun.
Like a Dragon Pirate.
There are some things where that hurts the game, right? Like you talk about it being fun. Like there are like potions you can get that help you see in the dark. Love that, right? Like, okay, it's not super realistic. People in medieval times were doing that, but that's cool and that's fun in the game. There was one situation I got into. There's like a major story thing where basically I was over encumbered and had to sneak my way out of a place. And so the game is basically saying to you, you need to leave everything you've accumulated to this point here. That's it. Otherwise, you can't sneak out of this place. Or you do what I did and save scum my way out of the place. So like around every corner, because the only way to save the game is to drink a specific potion, go to sleep, or save and quit the game.
Wow.
And so I was saving and quitting the game, basically around every corner, stealthing my way out of this thing with, 400 pounds worth of armor on my back. Going like, I'm not leaving this here. I've worked too hard to get it. I think like I went full circle on that segment of gameplay where like I was having fun, then I was very much not having fun, and then I came back around at the end. And I was like, you know what? I did it my way. And I still got all my stuff now, So like there's stuff like that where I think like sometimes the game can get in its own way, but it's well worth checking out. It's a very special game, I think. If you're into your Red Deads, your GTAs, your Skyrims, you need to get into Kingdom Come.
You're Avowed. Speaking of Avowed, I played Avowed. Crash, you played Avowed. You've completed Avowed.
I have.
So you've got things you can add to this conversation. But Crash, I want to hear your thoughts on Avowed.
Yeah, I'm 16 hours-ish in.
Ooh.
Maybe halfway through the second section of the game. I like it. I think it's very fun. I think the world is super, super interesting, and it does a lot that it's based off of what's the name of the franchise? Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, it really utilizes that fact a lot. I like in the dialogue, you can go and like, what's the past dialogue? And it'll show you like, hey, they use these phrases. That's what these phrases means. And so it doesn't pull me out of conversations when the little dwarf guys saying stuff and I don't really understand what it means.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I didn't put it in the review and I feel bad for not doing it, but I think that might be one of the best additions in this game is the dialogue options of the fact that you can read the history, the compendium of what each word means and all that kind of stuff. Brilliant addition.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The combat is fun, particularly the magic in the game is fun. I don't want to say all the combat is fun. The magic is fun. You don't think the magic's fun, Fix?
I'm still early on, and I'm really early on. So I've got 5 hours, but my 5 hours have been, oh, there's a cave over there. Oh, there's this over there. Oh, there's a door to break in. Oh, so I don't want to, my 5 hours and your 5 hours are going to look like very different 5 hours. I can guarantee that, right? I've avoided, it's not a spoiler, but like, the second main mission as you're going to the new town, I'm doing everything to avoid going there. Like I am every chance I get to go off the beaten path, I am doing. There's things I like about it. There's things I don't. I love the grimoire. I love the holding the spell book and flicking through the page and then doing your spells. Amazing. My only issue is I played Hogwarts Legacy and this game, wizardry, has nothing on Hogwarts Legacy. Go on.
I was going to say, yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is directly built around having a wizard combat.
Absolutely.
This is built around having multiple forms of combat. So like, it's
sure, but I'm still comparing it to what I've played.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, my issue is every time I'm using every time I'm playing as a wizard, where I'm using the wand, I can't not think about Hogwarts Legacy. Is my issue. Now, is that a fair apples to apples comparison? Absolutely not. But that's my issue. I'm using a hammer right now because it's my strongest weapon. I hate it. It is so slow. It is so
two-handed?
unbearable. Yeah, two-handed. Yeah.
Two-handed weapon. I have a big issue with two-handed weapons and a lot of the ranged weapons that aren't even the wand. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Specifically because the game with the magic system in particular and the grimoire incentivizes you to do a lot of different stuff. There's defensive stuff, there's offensive stuff.
Yeah.
And with the other stuff, you have abilities that you can unlock. Like you can get the bull dash that charges you into enemies, which is cool. You don't need any of the melee weapons to get that. I'm using a sword and a grimoire, and I still have that ability, and I'm utilizing it. So it feels like a lot of those other options, just the game doesn't incentivize you super well to actually utilize them in successful ways compared to the grimoire, where it seems like a lot of the focus is built around that system and the elemental system around it.
Yeah. I'm with you, and the game itself, the world is fantastic.
You said the word.
The world is fantastic. The exploration is fantastic. The story is okay. So far, I'm just not. I get it. I'm a godlike. Cool. I don't know where I'm from. Okay, cool. That being said, I did just tell you I haven't done any of the main story missions. And I'm literally going off into caves to go and explore. So
to confirm,
I'm sure I'll get there.
just to confirm where you are in the story, I'm assuming you're referring to, is it the first town in the first area you said?
No. So you go to that first town, you talk to whoever it is you talk to, it's a bunch of merchants. Then you have the next one as you're going up.
Yeah.
To like the giant castle bit. Yeah?
When I say like the first area, I mean like not the area that you wake up on when you start the game. You then go into the main like. I think it's
sure.
So you're talking about Paradise, I think, is the town.
Paradise,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you are not touching any story at that point yet. Then no, that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go on, Crash.
I'm going to echo Fix's sentiment. I think there is a narrative thread that you could say is fantastic, and it is fantastic, but I think it is one thread in the whole story that's kind of.
Hey, Crash.
I don't want to say dull, but not.
You're a
super
godlike.
Yeah.
You're a godlike. Oh my god, look at your face. You're a godlike.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a thread.
that
There's a thread attached to that is interesting. But that for me is it, because I think the rest of the story so far, and I'm only halfway through the second act or whatever, I don't think I've had any other moments that aren't Pillars of Eternity moment where like I'm learning more about that world, where I'm like, oh, that's super cool. That's like super specific to this game's narrative, where I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. I'm going to use fantastic just because these one called it fantastic before.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I think.
Let me land really quickly. Like, my issue is the companion comes out of nowhere as well. So for me, I'm just like, who the fuck's this guy? And why am I talking to him as if we're best friends all of a sudden? I don't know you. I know nothing about you. You look like a fish that should be in water. Like, who are you? Like, and that's how I feel the entire time. I'm like, I don't want you with me. I want to like not have you with me because I don't know you, or I need a moment where they save my life or they do something in the story that makes sense for them to be with me. Instead, it's walk into town. I'll join you. Who the fuck's this guy?
That's
like,
Fish Garrus.
Generally, that's how I feel.
I will say, of the companions I've met so far, Kai is probably my favorite. The other one I'm very, very much down on, and I would rather not have him when I go out to do stuff.
Marius, yeah. I'll be honest. Again, go watch my review. Great review I had.
Fantastic.
No, Marius is definitely the weakest of all the characters, of the companions, and the companion stuff is probably the weakest part of this game. If we're being honest.
I have a question for you, Despawn, and I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but do you view companions as part of the narrative?
No, not really.
Yes, they have to be.
I do.
Man.
For me,
100%.
like the whole story and how you fit into the whole story of the world is the narrative.
Well,
that's not true for everyone. And I don't think it needs to be true for everyone.
Yeah.
But when you say it's fantastic and you disregard that stuff, I think it makes perfect sense in that case.
Like I say, they are the weak point of the story. Like, don't get me wrong, they are there are story beats that happen that they are directly connected to, but that's not the story beats that I'm considering when I'm talking about the fantastic story. Like, I think it's the subtlety of like the main through line as you start like unraveling it as you get nearer to the end is what like is there's these kind of like moments where within the story that I think those are the turning points for me specifically. Like right now where you are fixed specifically, there is almost zero story right now, and like you said, I 100% agree with the way that companions are introduced is very much like, okay, cool. You've got unique ability that I need, I guess. So that's why you're here. Like, but
let me just be very clear to the audience. You are listening to me talk about a game. I'm telling you what I've played and telling you how I've played it. I'm giving you my experience of what's been in my box of what I've been playing and how I've been playing it. I don't want to hear about how Fix is wrong when I've literally told you I've run around exploring caves and I love the exploration in this game. Like, understand what I'm saying here, please.
Also, with everything that's said, I'm having a lot of fun with this game.
1000%.
Moment to moment, I'm enjoying myself. Like the narrative,
Absolutely.
like opinions on narrative are irrelevant because I'm just enjoying myself while I'm playing it.
Agreed.
Although, I think you touched on this last week, Despawn, and I don't know if you said this in like a tongue-in-cheek way, but one issue I do have, nobody notices when you steal stuff.
yeah,
They do notice. They do notice. I have an issue that they talk about and like, oh, you're really going to take that? And there's no repercussions when they notice.
Yeah.
In a game
Disagree.
that's important about choice, you disagree with that?
Oh, I love it. I love it. There is nothing worse than stealing in a video game and having to reset the whole, hey, you can't take that. Get into a voice line. I'm sorry. Here's your payment. I'm so happy it's gone in this.
Let me be specific. I'm fine with the fact that you don't get punished for being caught. I don't like the way they approach it because there's certain characters where they'll make comments and it's like they should be mad that I didn't do it. They should do something that I didn't do it. They just don't do anything, and it pulls me out of the experience a little bit.
Okay.
Because I go to the spot and there's like a holy item on a pedestal, and I pick up the holy item, and the guy just like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that I took it. He's like, you're that cool.
So
you know what I love? Go on, Dace, one place.
I'm going to say on the flip side of that, I 100% went to an area where there was a pedestal, an item on a pedestal. I was like, oh, should I take that? I was like, no, let me talk to the guy. I was like, oh, you're a god. Like, here, have this mystical totem. I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Interesting. Well, I had that with the ring in the swamp. Okay, there's a ring that you pick up very early on, and there's a guy looking for his ring, and it's his wedding ring, and I'm like, oh, I have this, and he's like, oh, can I have it back? I'm like, no, I'm having it, and he's just like, oh, I was expecting him to like buy it,
fight,
or be upset by it. He wasn't. He was just like, well, I can't fight you. You're a godlike. You're gonna kill me.
I think there's a through line of you being godlike where if they did it better in certain parts, it wouldn't be a problem for me at all. And I don't think it's relatively like a big negative, but it is narratively a big negative for me where it pulls me out of like the believability of that story and the way it's expressed more so than anything.
When I've experienced more of it, I'll talk about it. Matt, you look like you had some questions. Talk to me. What's going on?
So as you guys were talking about like narrative and companions and these sorts of things, it reminded me of Dragon Age Veilguard. Kind of felt like similar kind of conversation that you were having when you started Dragon Age Veilguard, Fix, of kind of going, I'm not that into this, and then you got really into it, right?
I'm not going to get into this. There's no relationships in this game.
Oh, you can't fuck any companions?
You can't fuck any companions.
What's the point? All right, never mind. Move on.
Matt, that's generally how I feel. Spoiler. I guess that maybe there's more to it. Maybe we'll find out. But not yet. No, Joe. Go on. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for Avowed. If you do not want a spoiler, even if it is a light spoiler, skip forwards until we stop talking about Avowed, I guess, from here on. Go on.
You could talk about fucking your companions and make jokes about it. That's about it. Is really all it is. They do that, and in a tongue-in-cheek way.
So I'm going full spoiler. You can technically have a relationship with one of them, and it is an end credit sequence, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
And you have to have one specific conversation at camp at one point, and that's it.
I don't love it. I'll be honest, Matt. I'm not. Again, I am very early on, so I can't. It's not even close to Dragon Age for me.
Interesting.
The companions are just not the companion that I am with right now. To me, just makes no sense.
And are you playing first or third person?
first. I think that's
So-
everyone, right?
Yeah, third is
Yeah.
not. Third isn't great. I tried
A
it
lot
for
of the
like.
clips I'm seeing online are third, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
flip
no,
between the two, I don't know.
First is
You have to go
100%
into
the way I
the
play
menus
this.
to flip between it as well, which I hate.
There's a hotkey.
No?
There's
Oh,
a
there is
there's
a
a hotkey.
hotkey. There is a hotkey.
I don't know about controller on mouse and
That's
keyboard.
what I'm on controller.
Yeah, I played it all controller. There's a hotkey. I can't remember what it is because
okay,
I never
cool.
used it, but yeah, I think it's like
I
clicking.
only saw it in the menus when I was doing my settings, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's a
I
menu
definitely
option, but I
want to
think
check it out.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, I know I have to.
Yeah, you have
Xbox
to. It's a
Game
good
Pass.
game.
Well,
It's a good game. Like it's a good game. It's definitely it's a good
I
game.
would assume it's a U game, Matt. If I'm gonna be honest.
I know. I think it will be. I think it will be.
yeah, I think from what I know of you, Matt, I think you'll have the same issues we've had with like companions and some paper thin RPG elements, but
The major issue I have right now is both of my Xbox controllers now have stick drift. It makes it really hard to play the Xbox, tell you what.
Oh, you need to buy a new controller then.
I know, but I feel like that's all I'm fucking doing at the moment is buying controllers. I had a DualSense that had stick drift as well, so I had to replace that recently.
I think it might be a you issue.
Sounds like it,
Sounds
doesn't
like
it?
a
But
you problem.
Has your thumb got stick drift? Is that what it is? Yeah, you got one. Show me your thumbs. Let's see what your thumbs are like.
Oh, those are wonky thumbs.
Oh, that's a yeah. That's the you
Oh,
issue.
come
Yeah,
on, guys,
New
it was
thumbs.
right there. You were supposed to say it there. Fantastic.
No,
No,
wonky
no.
thumbs. Wonky
I'm not gonna
thumbs.
lie to
Can't
the audience.
Can't lie. Yeah, exactly. Anyone else been playing anything else before we move on?
Nope.
Perfect. Let's get into this week's dashboard and get through some of this news. First story, Corsair clarifies GTA 6 PC early 2026 release comment. I must have missed this one, but during a financial call, Corsair Gaming VP of Financials Roland Van Veen said, yeah, GTA 6 is probably the one everyone's talking about, and we'll get a glimpse of that, I think, later on this year for console. My understanding now it's going to come out in the fall for console, then early 2026 for PC. That comment obviously sparked a bunch of conversation online. What does he say? I'm trying to look at this quote. Does he say something? Let me have a look.
It's just the release date, and then he walks it back. Essentially,
Okay.
it's not real. It's not accurate. Or
Roland Van Veen's comments were speculation and confirmed Corsair does not have a release date supplied from them by Take-Two. So yeah, he shit himself and probably got in lots of trouble for misspeaking.
Yep.
Probably.
Pretty much,
Probably.
yeah.
I'm just, which, by the way, Mr. Van Veen, I do not know anything about you. I would have absolutely pooed myself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, he said what everybody's been saying as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't think.
He just said the quite a bit out loud. He's
VPs
our Corsair executive,
VPs of game of financials at Corsair can't be making speculation
Like-
comments,
yeah.
unlike us here at MXAM on the podcast.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I just wanted to throw my lifeline real quick.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I
It's like,
agree.
yeah.
It does show how much the GTA 6 community fan base are clutching at straws for anything.
yeah.
It's been over a year. We've had one trailer. It's supposed to come out this year. What is going on?
That Rockstar are being Rockstar.
Yeah.
But you say that, but they weren't like this for GTA 5. Like,
Yes, they
we
were.
didn't get loads.
We got two.
we got screenshots.
we had
got
screenshots.
trailers.
I guess.
They
They
dropped
did a thing
screenshots
where
like
on their website they were dropping screenshots. I remember
All the
being in
time.
school and I was in sixth form. I remember every week we go into design technology class and my mate Liam back then was like, "You get a new screenshot? Oh my god!" And then we would sit there and dissect it during our entire lesson. So yeah, no, they've definitely holding back more. But Matt, what I would say is they didn't have a gigantic leak last time. Look at what's happened this time. Their trailer got leaked. Their game code got leaked. Why are they incentivized to show any? They can't upload it in private on YouTube because YouTube bloody are the ones leaking this crap. So I think it's one of those ones where they're like, we know you're going to buy it. We all know how much this is going to sell. Relax. You'll get it when you get it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Did Red Dead Redemption 2 have more?
I weren't locked in on that like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm
I
trying
play
to
Red
think.
Dead, love Red Dead, but I'm not locked in like, oh, screenshot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, actually, Crash. It's a fair point, but
I have a question.
yeah, it just feels like it's been so silent for so long. Go on.
Yeah, because this is kind of a non-story thing, but I want to know. I want to question you guys. How on the nose do you think Mr. Ronald Van Veen was? Do you think it is going to be in early 2026 for the PC version, or do you think we're going to see a GTA 5 where it's like a year at least?
No, I think it's going to be early 2026. I think they're going to get it to PC quicker. We've seen it now. Look at PlayStation. I think Shuhei Yoshida's come out as a quote of like printing money. It's PC's printing money. I think I think the days are gone where where console is the only metric that matters. Yeah. And I think Rockstar I only know tangentially the way Rockstar moved because of playing NBA, right? They didn't care about their PC port of NBA 2K. It was the previous gen. And then there was uproar. Now we see that. You see WWE launching there in the best condition, usually on PC as well. I think they've woken up to like, okay, kids are growing up and wanting PCs, not Xboxes or PlayStations, you know? Still a huge market on console. It's not like it's going to not be there, but I think they're going to get it as quickly as possible. And not only that, then buying 5M, which will obviously become their role play whatever. We know that we believe that NoPixel, which is the biggest role play server to exist at the moment for people that don't know, apparently are working with Rockstar hand in hand right now to work on like stuff. So again, rumor. I just think they know how big that PC audience is and how much it keeps GTA 5, as much as you want to, GTA is GTA. It doesn't need it, but it has kept that community alive for a lot longer than it would have, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
I also, I don't think GTA 5 is going to go anywhere even after GTA 6 online goes away. The online for GTA 5 is still going to stay there.
Yeah, for sure. Same way Red Dead is still there. Like Red Dead Online is still a thing. I think GTA 4 online is still a relatively popular thing around quite a large community. Like there was I think there was a story that came out. I haven't seen it, but I read it properly. But I think it was something along the line of one of the guys in Rockstar or Take-Two said like, as long as there is still a market for it, we will keep supporting GTA 5 online.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The thing I would say about this, I don't know. While I agree that they see a market in PC being very important to support. Is GTA the one that's going to follow that trend, or is it going to be the GTA 5 of like double dip again? Like you get it on your Xbox console, your PlayStations, and then 6 months later you get it on PC, so that we get people who will double dip.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It will be double. I think you'll get it 6 months later.
Yeah, okay.
I think you're still double dipping. I think with my influence, every single one of you sitting here are double dipping.
I'll be honest, it's got nothing to do with you. I would double dip.
Well, perfect. But you know what I'm saying? I think if enough people, go on, Crash.
There's going to be diehard GTA fans that are going to buy the PS5 Pro just to play it on console.
Yep, for sure.
Before it comes to PC, and then get a PC and possibly even upgrade their PC so they play it the best way there.
Not even Die Hard, right? Like when Hogwarts again released, you had a load of people who hadn't played games in decades, maybe never played games, go out and buy a PS5 so that they could play the Harry Potter game. GTA has the same sort of pull. Like people who haven't played since San Andreas, and now are in their 50s, are going to go out and buy a PS5. Probably Xbox Series S will do really well out of this because they'll I just want the cheapest thing that can play GTA 6. It's that. Great.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to drive a whole new wave of people buying consoles. And so I think, look, if you're a console manufacturer, you probably want it to stay off PC for as long as possible, but it's not up to you. But I agree. I think it'll come relatively soon.
Right, 6 months to a year, but I think 6 months is. I don't think that's crazy talk from Mr. Van. Yeah, missed his name.
Does it then win Game of the Year?
Mr. Van Veen.
This year and next year, because it's
not for us, but yes, for others, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Next up, Ubisoft insists Assassin's Creed Shadow pre-orders are tracking solidly in line with Odyssey's. This came out from Yves Galmont, who's maintained confidence, saying the company is, quote, fully focused on the upcoming launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows for March 20th. Early previews have been positive, praising the narrative and its immersion experience, with both characters playing a critical role in the game's storyline, as well as the quality, complementary essentially blah, 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 blah. Quote, I want to commend the incredible team and dedication of the entire Assassin's Creed team, who is working tireless to ensure that Shadows delivers on the promise of which the franchise's most ambitious entry yet. Yeah, apparently tracking very well for pre-orders, which is humongous. Yeah, I'll kick it to you guys because I'm very clearly biased when it comes to this. Crash. Good, bad, how you feeling?
This is good news. I'm gonna be honest, the closer we get to this game, the more excited I get. I haven't played a stealth game and really dug into one in a while, and so that aspect of this game definitely has me like super, super interested. So knowing that it's also gonna perform well is very excited, or lining up to perform well as well is very exciting. To hopefully that if this game does well, that stealth aspect continues to be a thing going forward, because they don't realistically, Assassin's Creed doesn't need the stealth at this point to be successful. Clearly the last two games didn't need it that much.
It does for this story.
Yeah.
For this story specifically, from my preview, this story specifically is very much needed. I saw a quote that came out from someone at Ubi, by the way, that was, I don't know who it was, so I don't want to misquote them, but along the lines of like, oh, you can just mainline one character. Just from my preview alone, I would suggest don't do that. Like, it was very clear that, like, I know what they're trying to do, but like, I think it was very clear that, like, certain situations for certain characters, yes, you can tackle it with one character throughout. I don't think that would be the best way to play it, in my opinion, but I guess they were just saying that you can. So
yeah,
technically not wrong. You can.
Yeah, it sounds like to me it's the like if you just want to play a stealth game, this is a stealth game for you. If you just want an action game, this is the action game for you. It's like you have that option. Yeah. Not the best option, but it's an option.
True. Excited or happy that it's at least it's performing well pre-order wise, these ones?
Pre-orders don't really.
Go on.
Matt, you.
I'm surprised. Like it's 5 years since Valhalla. I would have thought every year that we continue into this industry, pre-orders become less and less of a thing. But maybe I'm really wrong. Like, I'm surprised that people are still pre-ordering games in the same way they were 5 years ago. And blah, blah, blah.
I went to my dentist literally the other day, right? Because I've got to get a root canal done, and he plays games, so we talk about him every now and then. And he was like, "Oh yeah, just pre-ordered Wilds, Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Wilds, yeah." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, people still do that. I forget. It's not us. It's the outside world."
Multiple benefits to pre-ordering early. One, you have the early download. Do it, and two, if you do it digitally, a lot of times they charge you right away, and so it's like, I have the money for this game, I want this game, I'm going to charge it now, so that it's, you know, the whole girl math meme of like, if you pre-order it now, you get it. I got the game for free
later.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about it. It's not something you have to worry about bill wise.
Crash, and that's the type of conversations we need to be having, because I think some of us, me especially, have lost touch with that because we get our games for free. I forget about that whole thing. Wouldn't even have come into my brain. So very good point.
But I'm also I'm not aware of. I'm sure that you get some benefits as well, some skins, special cosmetic, maybe even early access. I don't know. Like, I'm sure there are all sorts of bells and whistles.
They got rid of the early access, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I think Ubisoft's not doing it anymore, or it's just Shadow specifically that's not doing the.
No, they got rid of it altogether. I believe they're no longer doing it.
We've got to have a conversation at some point about how Ubisoft keep making really interesting, good consumer first choices in the way that they run their games. Getting rid of early access, cross saves across the different platforms, being one of the first ones to standardize that.
I don't know how I feel about the early access stuff, because like Avowed did it, didn't it? It was like 3 years early access. Starfield did it, obviously. I don't really feel like I've compiled my thoughts on whether or not it's good or bad.
I'm not a fan of it, but as someone who makes content, it is useful because I can. If you are. I mean, it's awful as a general rule of thumb, but like for me personally, it's like I'd be like, well, I can be like 5 days. If I don't get a code, I could be 5 days ahead of everyone else.
You're not ahead of it. Yeah. Go on now. You're going to make the point for me,
yeah,
Christian, please.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you're in line with everybody because that's the thinking that everybody does, and it pushes people to buying that early access. You're Despawn, you want to be against the machine. You're a drone in it.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost like going. If you were really cynical, you could look at it and go, "You can pay. I'm the developer or publisher of the game. You can pay me to access the game before you can read reviews of the game. That only benefits me."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like you might see reviews for a game, and I don't think this has really happened, but you might see reviews for the game where they go, "It's Cyberpunk. It's broken. It's unplayable." And you go, "Fuck, can I cancel my pre-order? Can I get my money back? I don't want it now." You know, like, and so you're just paying for the privilege to not have that information and play it 4 days early or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one.
It's a deeper conversation. Definitely a deeper conversation to be had. Yeah, again, obviously I'm not really talking on this just because I don't think it makes sense to. I am 100% biased. If Ubisoft, I keep a job, you know, so it doesn't really make sense for me to comment on all of this too much. But yeah, I'm happy that. I'll put it this way: I'm happy that Assassin's Creed is doing well. Like, I want Assassin's Creed to do well as an Assassin's Creed fan, and I hope that it does very, very well. Next up, Marvel Rivals director and entire team, the Seattle design team, laid off. NetEase tells fans not to worry about the game. I don't even want to read the quotes for this. I know enough about it. This is absolutely disgusting. Like,
straight away, I'm not worried about the game because I've uninstalled it. I'm not playing it. I'm not buying any of their microtransactions anymore. I'm not supporting this kind of work. Like, this is disgusting. Yeah,
Crash,
you don't
play this game, I assume.
What was that?
You still playing this game, I assume?
Oh yeah, I'm still gonna play it.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're not.
Oh, am I still playing it? Yeah, I still am playing it. Yeah.
Got you. How do you like? I don't even need for those who don't know. By the way, just to give the quick 411, Marvel Rivals has come out. It's just celebrated 40 million players. It has been extremely successful, and it has now laid off an entire team. Where are we in the industry right now? Because I'm confused.
This specific case has a little bit of nuance. The nuance does not excuse it. It's a shitty situation. Not going to cut it any other way. It is a shitty situation. Nuance exists. There's nuance there. NetEase has been shutting down a lot of its American studios and a lot of its American departments. So this is not specifically, oh, this game did really well, let's shut it down. This probably was going to happen regardless how this game did. Again, doesn't excuse it, does not make it a good thing. It's still a very, very shitty situation. I want to be very clear about that.
Yep.
And then number two, it is primarily a Chinese team, and having a team overseas communicating for a game like this could be very disoriented. My question to that would, of course, be like, why have the art team in Seattle in the first place in that case? You know, questions you can have that sort of debunk that whole point. There is a little bit of nuance there. At the end of the day, it just is kind of like a really shitty situation. That's basically, we see it time and time again. There is not very many companies that are immune to the layoffs for apparently no reason. Seems.
Yeah. No, absolutely mad. Yeah, I mean, this game's still going to be huge. People are still going to play it. People are still going to make lots of money. Yeah, just sorry to the teams. It's just weird, man. We just live in a world where things can be successful and you still lose your job. I'm used to things not going well and you lose your job. That to me makes perfect sense. But things being successful and then you lose your job.
Yeah.
I appreciate the nuance, though. I do appreciate the nuance.
Stuff like this massively hurts the industry because of exactly what you just said, Fix, of going, you can make something incredibly successful, both financially, critically, fans love it. You can do everything right. You can make the magic unicorn and still get laid off. And so then people will look at the industry now when they're deciding what to study at university or deciding what career they want and go, I would love to make games, but that is risky as fuck. So I'm going to go be a banker or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you lose all this talent. Stuff like this has a massive impact on the next generation.
It has, you hear stories all the time about the current generation as well. There's like layoffs happen, somebody gets laid off, or somebody near them gets laid off, and they're like, I'm going to look for a new job. I'm not even going to bother looking in the game industry.
Yeah.
And I feel like the game industry itself has lost a lot of talent that was previously there. And that's why in certain regards, there's certain aspects of games that have grown like a little bit stagnant because who would have been at the forefront. I've sort of been like, gaming's not it because I don't know if I have security in it. And so that is, I think, not just the next generation, but it is a current generation issue with gaming as well.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I would also point out that to add more nuance to the discussion that maybe we don't want to wade into, but massive companies like this that make a lot of money that are based overseas, it's happened as well in Canada, where they've been threatened with a lot of tariffs, and a lot of the Canadian entertainment industry has gone, fuck, we need to move this entirely in-house, get everybody out of America, because this is going to go fucking sideways. Or it's just unpredictable, and being unpredictable is almost as bad as it going sideways. So
the risk of it going sideways is,
we're not a
almost
politics
worse.
podcast, but I would suggest that had some bearing on this decision.
Oh no, there's a load of nuance that we're missing out of this conversations, and there's a load of decisions that have gone on. But all we can do is take it on face value on the information that we have, right? Which is Marvel Rivals comes out, we support it as consumers, enjoy the game, then team gets laid off. How you speak, how you can go on the side of Despawn, where you uninstall the game and refuse to give it any more money, or you can be like Crush and keep enjoying the game. I don't think either answer is wrong.
Yeah.
But you do with that with what you want to. Simple as. So, mad. But the political side of it, we'll just move aside.
Story number 4.
Number 4, Ubisoft, back in the news again, has announced Siege X, which is, quote, the biggest transformation in Rainbow Six Siege's history. Ubisoft has teased it for a while now, but this is now the evolution of Rainbow Six Siege, which should be coming in March. It's going to be called Siege X. We're supposed to be getting there's going to be a bunch of new changes, with it being the biggest transformation, including new gameplay, graphics, audio upgrades. So there was a rumor out there that I don't know if you guys saw, which was supposed to be, this is going to be Rainbow Six Siege 2. That's obviously not a real thing, but Rainbow Six Siege X is. Huge for the Siege community, by the way. Absolutely humongous. Yeah.
Do we know if this is like it says graphical and all that stuff up? Are all the operators that are currently in it going to be in this update, or is it sort of like a soft reset?
Lots of rumors out there, Crash, right now.
Got it.
Lots of rumors out there. I just want to be fully transparent. I don't know anything. I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know this was a thing. I knew nothing. Nothing. The rumor what's out there right now is the game's going to go free to play.
Oh.
And the rumor out there, again, because I'm still a Siege fan, by the way, like I'm tapped into that community a little. The rumor is it's going to go free to play, and the rumor is that you're going to have to buy operators again. So there's going to be more operators, new operators, things of that nature. They just announced a new operator, by the way. I forgot their name, but you can shoot barricades into doors and stuff like that. Looks awesome. But yeah, the rumor is free to play. You're gonna have to buy characters, either with renown, like back in the day, or pay with your Rainbow Six credits. So yeah, that's what's the rumor reel right now. Take everything I'm saying with a pinch of salt. It is just a rumor. I do not know a single thing. Huge though, I have to say, for me, someone who is a huge Rainbow fan, and seeing that world get a huge reset, we hope, or I hope I should say, will get me to go back to Rainbow Six Siege on a more consistent competitive level.
I'm going to say, do you think this is, because I love Siege as well, but I just never put enough time into it. Is this the time? Do I wait for this?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're someone, the problem is it's still Rainbow Six Siege, right? This is not going to be you're jumping into Marvel Rivals and everyone's at the same skill level. Like at the end of the day, people who play Siege are still going to be good at Siege. Like this isn't PUBG when it dropped or Fortnite when it dropped. It's Siege. I think this is the perfect time to jump in because there's gonna be a bunch of new players as well, right?
Yeah,
that's
skill
what I was
based
gonna
management
say.
can fix that.
I do think you will have that grace period with any competitive game, be it a fighting game or whatever. If you want to jump into the game, you jump in when it launches or there's a big new update like this, where it's like there's a whole bunch of new players. You get the time to learn the game, and if you want to stick with it past that point, cool. Or if you want to enjoy it for what it is there, cool as well. It's the perfect time. Okay.
Map knowledge, especially with the audio changes, maybe you'll pick up on some footsteps which other people don't, etc., etc. Yeah, huge. I will definitely. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's good, and I'm hoping this becomes my X Defiant again, where I can. This is what I play every single day. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting good at it, and then boom, we're good to go. But we shall see.
Yeah, we find out more on the 13th of March, was it?
I believe
so. Yeah,
Yeah,
full
yeah.
reveal.
Yeah, full reveal on the
believe
13th.
When are we announcing the MXAM Siege esports team?
Now, apparently.
By
Spoilers, Matt. Spoilers.
Sponsored by. I'm waiting for the sponsor to see if we can pay for it.
insert brand here.
Yeah, we are sponsored by insert brand here.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Crash, I don't know how this gets you, Gan, because obviously we kind of bonded our whole relationship over Siege at the start there. Does it get you excited to go back at all, or not really?
Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be probably my last chance to jump back into Siege. Because if this didn't come out, like there was, other than you like asking, like, hey, I really want to play Siege. Will you play Siege with me? I probably wouldn't touch Siege. Or this is like, yeah, I'll probably jump on and try it out and mess around with it.
I mean, I played not too long ago on the UB channel, and I was playing so good, Crash. It was scary. I was playing so good. I almost hit an ace my first round.
When did they start adding bots to the game? Is my question.
Very good. Very
Got
good.
him.
That hurt.
Got him.
Hurt. It's not even true, so that definitely hurt. Moving on. Before I go on to this, does anyone understand this whole AI and Microsoft thing? Can anyone break it down for me better than what I can? Because I watched the video and I still didn't understand what the hell it was. So, no? We'll talk about it next week.
Let's talk about it next week.
Let's get a little bit more information and we'll talk about it next week. I haven't done the research on it to have a educated discussion on it, so not going to do that. You want to do this extra one? What is this? Crash? I didn't see
There's
it.
a question involved with it later on that we can touch on the article with
Okay.
that, but that's just the Xbox Steam Cloud's Steam saves. Xbox saves working on Steam. If you have a copy on Steam, yeah.
Oh, perfect. All right, it's time for Guess That Game. Despawn, it is your week. Talk to me.
Guess That Game. Guess That Game is our game show in a podcast where one of us, this week me, will choose a game, and it is up to the other members of the cast to ask me yes or no questions in 90 seconds to try and figure out what that game is. Obviously, like I say, yes or no only. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong and you disagree with me,
Argue.
we argue. If you all get it wrong and don't disagree with the answers that I give, I get a point. There is also a bonus trivia question, which I don't know about this one, so we'll see how you feel about this question. But yeah, I've got a game. I've got a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on both when you start.
I got a little detective's notepad for this. That
Nice.
means that game. So that
Okay.
means this week,
This week you're getting it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Cool.
Points look like this right now. Crash is currently on 2 points. Matt is currently on 0 points. Despawn is currently on 7 points. I am currently on 4 points. And Ryan McCaffrey is also on 1 point.
Shout out, man.
Matt,
It
wait,
hurts so bad.
Matt, how many points did you have? I missed that.
Yeah, Matt, what was the punch again?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, you gotta talk about it.
No, we don't.
Oh, no.
Right,
We'll
go
talk
on,
about it at the
Despawn.
end. All right. Let me bring up a timer. I have a timer in front of me. I am ready to go whenever you guys are. It is going to go Crash, Matt, Fixer.
Cool. Like it.
Ready when you guys are?
Let's do it.
Timer. Wait.
Oh.
Timer starting now.
360 game.
Yes.
Is it a shooter?
No.
Is it an exclusive?
No.
Big publisher.
Yes.
Multiplayer?
No.
Ubisoft?
No.
Sci-fi.
Yes.
Do you play as a customizable main character?
No.
EA?
No.
Activision.
No.
Is it an RPG?
Yes.
Have I played it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I assume no.
Open world.
Oh, Jesus, that's a no.
Yes, no. You'll understand when you know the game. Go on.
Yeah, sure. Matt?
Currently available on Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, he ain't going to know.
I don't think so.
We can look it up and come to after.
We can go back to it after. Yeah.
Oh, God, pass.
That's new.
Yeah, it's a thing we can do.
Never
Stop me
been
wasting
able to
time.
do that
You got 4 seconds,
You,
sir.
Matt.
It's not. It's Crash.
He passed.
Passed.
What?
All right. Time. I will allow Matt to ask one more question.
I mean, I don't know about you two. I'm not even close. Not even a
suck
little
so
bit
I
close.
don't think you are.
It's so bad. You know what? We are horrible because it's usually
Alright.
Despawn that like just freezes on
Yeah,
questions
no,
and just
we were bad.
pulls down. We just sucked
Yeah.
across the board.
Oh, all right.
I
You know
have a
what?
game in my head, but I don't know the name of it.
Oh, then yeah, it's definitely not that game. I will let you all ask one more question each.
So,
Sorry, can you give me the round?
We got to recap. It's a
Yeah,
360
please.
game. It's an
Yep.
RPG. You play. You do not play as a customizable character. It's not
Okay.
a shooter anymore.
Not exclusive, and
Yeah.
not multiplayer.
Not
No
Ubisoft, not E EA.
multiplayer. And
You
open world,
probably
but
haven't
not
played
open
it.
world, and we'll know when we know the game.
Yeah.
Can I ask a clarification?
Go.
We said big publisher. Did you count that as the big four?
No.
See,
no.
the question
a-
wasn't worded correctly. It's
Yeah.
it
is
we
a
got-
big
we got
publisher.
fucked up there.
No,
It's
I
a big
worded
publisher.
my question correctly. You know what you do when you find out, oh, it is a big publisher? Is it one of the big four? So don't go looking at me like you asked
Just
the wrong
ask if it's
question.
one of the big four.
No, because that
There's a lot of publishers in the world.
I'll
That
ask,
just
is
yeah.
it one of the big four? And when it's not one of the big four, and you're like, oh, it's a small publisher. I guess we can go from there. Fix.
I get to ask one more question, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
go
Yeah.
on.
You can all ask one more question. Go on.
Is the lead character voiced by a famous movie person?
No.
Then it's not the game I was thinking of, and I'm upset.
Okay. Fix Crash. You want to ask one more question?
Is there hack and slash elements in the game?
No.
Do you swing weapons? Because there's no shooting.
Yes.
There's melee combat, melee focus.
Okay, I think I've got my
Is
guess.
it
I'm not happy about it.
published by Deep Silver?
No.
Okay.
Okay. I'm writing mine down.
Okay. Well, we will start with. I think you're all going to have wildly different answers, so we'll just start with Crash.
Matt has his answer. I just
All right. We'll start with Matt.
Well, because now you know when I show mine and it's wrong, then you've eliminated another
I
one.
w- I won't say- I won't say.
That's a really,
I
really
won't
good
say.
point.
I won't say. I won't say if it's right or wrong. I'll just say okay.
That's fair. Yeah, don't say if it's right or wrong.
Okay. I'm going Dark Souls. I'm going
Okay.
Dark Souls.
Fixer.
I'm going not exclusive. Shit.
Oh, wait, not customizable main character.
You okay there, Matt?
I'm going Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Something. Wait, Final Fantasy 10. That was 360.
Okay.
You know what? I really like that answer, Fix. I'm gonna steal Final Fantasy 13.
Nice. I like it.
Okay.
No,
So
I'm
we've
not stealing
got.
that. I can't steal that. I can't steal that.
You can
Fix
steal
it.
it.
can do what you want.
It's fine. I don't care. I don't
Final
care.
Fantasy
steal it?
13.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we've got Dark Souls, Final Fantasy X, and Final Fantasy 13.
Or wait,
No, that's what you said.
yeah, 13.
You want to lock it in? Well, they're locked in
Done.
now.
He's locked in. He wants
Okay.
to still answers. He's locked in once he says
Yeah.
it.
I can't change
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Fix, you probably would have want him to change it because it's Final Fantasy 13.
That's cool. That's fine.
I'm
I'm
never
not a
going to get
cheater.
that.
I'm not a cheater.
You know what?
I still
You still get
a
point.
point.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
you
do
still get
specific
points.
games. Yeah, you still get a
Yeah,
game. Yeah. Okay, well done.
That was a great-
I
was-
smashed that. I fucking
that was-
smashed that.
You did 100% with what we had fixed. You absolutely
I
killed
fucking
it.
smashed that.
And
It's a good point that we don't do specific games, and so when in doubt, you should probably just punt for something like
Just punt a
Yakuza,
franchise.
There are 23 in the franchise, or
How did we not ask sequels? We're awful.
Yeah.
And the reason I was umming about it being open world, because typically Final Fantasy games are open world, but I think this one was very linear.
Yeah, I think in this case you go with the specific one you have about it
Yeah,
not
yeah.
being linear.
That's why I was like, eh. And for a bonus question, my trivia question, which I don't think anyone's going to get, but it's the kind of the thing, this is the first game that had one thing from Final Fantasy missing. Technically, I had a few things, but I'm thinking of one specific. If you get the other ones, you'll answer it. What thing is missing from Final Fantasy that isn't open world? Was missing from Final Fantasy 13.
We all writing down our answer, right?
I'll write down your answer. I will.
If
I'll
I,
ask.
like,
Go on.
I don't know if there's an official term for it, but if I like say something that like clearly
If-
states like
I'll
the system
know.
I'm thinking of,
Yeah, I'll know if it. Yeah, if yeah.
Do you know this, Matt?
no,
It is-
but I'm going to punt for the one thing that I do know about Final Fantasy and just assume that I'm right.
Okay.
Sometimes
well,
it's all about confidence.
So yeah,
You're right.
let's see how confident you are. Give me your answer, Matt.
No chocobos. No chocobos in the game.
you
like
know
that.
what? That is
I like that.
incorrect. One of the characters has a little chocobo in his hair.
Sick.
Yeah, he does. And so yeah. Okay. Well, did I know that? We'll find out at the end. Fixer.
That's a good point.
I went materia. No materia in this game.
There's no material in a lot of Final Fantasies.
Materials
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Specific. That is.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Is it no aircraft?
None of you got the answer that I was thinking of. The answer that I was thinking of is there is no victory theme for a battle. This was the first time that they didn't have the victory theme in it. There's a few things that are missing. You can't just go to a shop and buy things. You can't do a bunch of stuff. Like all shops were like at rest points and things like that. But yeah, it was
Interesting.
it's a wild departure. There's a reason this is a very divisive game when it comes to Final Fantasy fans. But yeah,
Am I?
go on.
Everyone's silent.
I know.
You
Well,
put your hand
you put your hand up.
Just at least kick to me. It's a podcast. Kick to me.
Well, I thought Crash was speaking still, so I stopped speaking.
That's why.
And then he
that's
starts
why I put my
speaking.
hand up. I
Yeah,
didn't interrupt.
Yeah.
That's
a crash.
I fucked that up. I messed that up. That is
We've
me.
been doing this for
That is me. That is
503
100%.
episodes.
Look, everybody listening, honest bottom to heart, I apologize. You guys had a horrible listening experience this episode. And if you guys want to leave a 5-star review complaining about me, you guys can do that on the podcast service.
please do.
Very
Fixer,
good.
what were we going to ask?
I just wanted to say that I have played Final Fantasy
Okay.
13, just the start, just the start of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Aircraft,
well, the points.
does it have aircrafts? It didn't have aircrafts, but I don't know if it's the first one that didn't have aircraft.
I'm
I'll
sure
be honest.
loads of Final Fantasies haven't had aircrafts now.
No, like that. When I say aircraft, it is the overworld traversal on something.
9 did, 10 did.
Your trivia has to be factual. I just need you to know that.
It is
like
fact-
we said to you beforehand. No, you think it's factual. You don't know that it's factual.
No, I'm not about the aircraft. That's why I didn't choose the aircraft as a trivia.
Oh, I thought the air. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. My bad. You're right.
This guy.
I apologize. That's on me. Let's get through some questions quick because Matt's got to go. Remember, you can email me at myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up in the Discord. Did we change the name of the Discord, by the way? I'm now thinking, did we change the name of it?
Yes.
It's just, it's MXAM, but the link will be in the description below of this video and or podcast audio. First question is from Origin Cookie Man. It says, I recently re-downloaded 2 live service games, Multiverses, Indian support, but will remain for offline play, and Forza Horizon 5, soon to come to PS5. I think it's already there. If it's not, oh no, it's not yet. You're right. I miss the player base from the former, but I'm really excited for the prospect of a revitalized player base for the latter. Are all the other live service devs missing a trick?
No.
What
trick would they be missing?
Is my question.
Yeah.
There's no. I don't think that in this situation, Forza Horizon 5 has anything figured out that I could look at that and be like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, there's no trick. It's
Multiverse
just
is shutting down.
yeah.
Unless
I
you're
think
including them, is it just like a more general statement?
Yeah, what was the trick that they should release platform exclusive for a while and then release somewhere else later on down the line? No, that's a terrible trick.
I guess the trick for multiverses is they're at least allowing the game to be played offline, even though the game's shutting down. I'm confused by the question. I read your cookie, man. I'm sorry. This week I can't come with you on the journey. I'm sorry.
No points for that question.
I'm
sorry.
Next up, Casey Who 42. No in. Welcome. Hope to see some more questions from you. Are you excited to see any of the developers that are showing at the ID at Xbox Showcase on the 24th? Do you think this sort of advertisement / event gets the Xbox brand better recognized, or is it more for the ultra fans? I personally really like seeing indie games get better promoted like this. I'll speak for myself. I only saw this advertised the other day because they put up a YouTube live stream me like, hey, we're going to be doing this thing. I forgot this is even happening. Will we be reacting to it? Maybe I can convince Crash to do it. I doubt it, though.
What time is it? When's it happening?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I can find that one sec. I'll find that.
I like idea Xbox. I do. I love seeing what indies they're supporting and what new interesting takes are coming. Especially because a lot of them come to Game Pass as well, so it's always cool to see because I love a good indie title. So yeah, seeing what new interesting things. 7 p.m. UK time. No, 6. Sorry, I can't. I woke up 5 minutes before this podcast. Leave me alone. I didn't like. You're from London. You drink that weird water. I thought you had 6 fingers on one hand.
This is bottled water. How dare you, sir?
Bottled from where? The
6
Thames?
p.m. Crash, my time.
Okay.
That'll be 1 p.m. ET, 10 a.m. PT.
We could probably do it. Yeah.
I could be there for that.
Yeah.
I say that. Let me check my diary. I'm pretty sure I can do it.
Check your diary.
You can do that before you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can.
Yeah. To answer the specific question, though, does this get the Xbox brand better recognized? No, I don't think so. I think this is very much for the indie fans that, rather than the Xbox fans.
I think this is good inside baseball for the people in the industry, and then also for people who are really attached either to specific franchises that show up or who are very attached to the Xbox brand. I don't think it is a big outside Xbox brand, but from an idea Xbox, you usually do have sort of waves that go outside of the reach of this game showed up there and it's a game that that people are really excited. If we were to see the Silk Song game or whatever it's called that people have been waiting a million years, if it were to show up tomorrow, which is not going to, I wouldn't hope for it, or not. Don't hope for it, but I wouldn't hold your breath for it. They have games that show up like that. It's just it's not bringing much awareness to Xbox itself, which I don't think is the purpose for the idea Xbox Showcase anyway. Yeah.
If anyone out there was like, oh, I didn't even think that. So, if Silk Song was going to be at this, they would have advertised this so hard.
Yeah.
The fact that it's just a link on their YouTube is just no.
I do think it's definitely for the ultras. In my opinion, it's for people like us that do a weekly Xbox podcast, and then people who really care about indie games as well. But yeah, I don't. Not negative. It's just not. I don't think it's well advertised at all. To be honest with you, like I said, I didn't know anything about it other than what I saw on YouTube. So
Xbox don't advertise any of their stuff well enough, do they? And they have a discovery problem on Game Pass and the platform in general. And so, yes, is it ultimately a good thing? Yes. Are they executing it the best way possible? Probably not. But
they have got IGN have got an article because they're also in collaboration with IGN, right? It's their FanFest thing. What to expect? 11-bit. These are the publishers. 11-bit, Big Fan, Critical Reflex, Game Source Entertainment, No More Robots, Panic, PlayStack, Raw Fury, Thunder Lotus, Cult Games, Team 17, Curve, Capara Games, and Don't Nod. So
okay,
there you go.
Some lost records.
You would imagine so, yeah.
You'll probably see episode 2, yeah.
Yeah. So for that alone, it's probably worth it. Cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you for the question, though. Please do keep them coming. I always love to hear new voices from the community. So thank you. Next up, Stead says, which do you think comes to PlayStation first? Halo, Gears, or Forza, which we already know. Motorsport, actually. Motorsport. My guess is Forza Motorsport because they have burned their Xbox/PC base with the last 2 games not being received that well by the community. I think Forza Motorsport is probably the easiest one for Xbox fans to digest as well. Not just the negative player base, but people are not going to get as up in arms over a racing game as they are for Xbox's mascot being Master Chief, and then for idiots like me, which is Gears of War being the baby that got us into Xbox as a start. So I think for that reason as well.
Yeah.
However, to play devil's advocate, I think we were all kind of head turned a little bit by what Ryan said on episode 500 of My Xbox and Me, which you should go check out. When he talked about, yeah, exactly. When he talked about Gears of War E-Day making sense to like leave us on a cliffhanger after Gears 5 and then go into Gears of War E-Day, because Gears of War needs a bit of a rebrand. It needs to bring new people into the franchise and it needs to kind of start from scratch. If that's the thinking, if that's part of the reason they went for E-Day and they went back to Marcus and Dom, wouldn't it make sense for Gears of War Collection to make its way over to PlayStation and get that new fan base involved before E-Day launches, even if it has 6 months of exclusivity on Xbox?
Yes, but there's also something that E-Day's missing that both Gears 4 and 5 had that the next Gears of War wouldn't have, and that is Rod Ferguson. That would be the first game that he's not a part of it.
Yeah,
and so I'm not discounting that. I think that's actually like a really good thought process, but there is like another angle to sneak in there from that perspective.
I just want to clarify. I don't know if you meant it. I don't think Gears needs a rebrand. I think it needs a reboot.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think that's what the brand of Gears and what Gears of War is, I think, is fantastic. Rebooting that entire series and E-Day being the start of that, I think, is the right thing for them to be doing. And you know what's weird? So I'm playing Resident Evil 4. We were gonna do it the other day, but we didn't. I started it and then stopped. And I'm like, damn, yeah, I could actually go for a Gears of War 1, 2, 3 remake. Like, especially Gears 1. Not that those games are not still beautiful and hold up, and we've had the remasters and things of that nature, but like a Gears 1, when you're in the truck, in the vehicle, and you're shooting the krill with the light, I can just imagine that on Unreal Engine 5 would be terrifying. And that scared the shit out of me when I played it back then. So imagine what that will look like today.
Gears 1 is the most horror-esque any of the Gears of War games have been, and they've tried like going back into it, but it never works because we know fully what the locusts are, and they always put us into a cog's shoes instead of like, hey, you're playing a civilian in this game or whatever it is, because you wouldn't really want to play as a civilian in Gears of War necessarily.
Yeah, you'd be dead. Yeah, you'd be dead in 5 minutes. Yeah, you could.
Always like a horror game.
The specific thing I think about when it comes to Gears about the horror aspect is that one level where you've got to push the burning cars to start light sources. Like having that as a gaming mechanic throughout, and you're just a civilian trying to get to like a cog base would be
escaping the berserkers. They only like go off of sound or whatever, and it's like that would be like there's a lot of fantastic moments in Gears of War specifically. I agree with you, Fix. Like if they went for like a full remake and they really like honed in on those horror elements, even if we never got a 2 and 3 remake, like one specifically, I think would benefit so much.
I have a pitch for you.
Go.
Turn 1, 2, and 3 into one game.
No, it's too
and
big.
Remake
Too
them
big.
uniformly. I know it's too big. Cut out loads. Well, not cut out loads, but like cutscene stuff and do stuff so you're not playing through all of them. And it's like a best of. You can play 1, 2, and 3 in 8 hours. Get it in and out.
No.
That's just you because you're bloody too busy in life. The rest of us enjoy video games that are, you know, not long, but like we like video games. You just want a best of so you can actually digest it. Get out of here.
Go watch a YouTube video, you scrub. No, I want a COG trilogy collection. Again, what Matt's asking for of like ground up Unreal Engine 5, but I want the entire thing done. I don't want a best of bits. F that.
Yeah, I don't want that either. Definitely, especially with what you just said about rebooting it for the Xbox or the PlayStation audience as well. But that makes by the way, the PC audience as well. I know they've got like but like
5 and
no. They've got Gears 1 and I don't know if they got 2.
I think
they definitely
edition,
got 1. I remember 1 on Windows 10. Did they not have they got the collection, right?
Oh yeah, now they would have
Yeah.
the collection? Question mark.
I think so. I can't remember. I guess we'll find out one day when someone writes in and tells us. Next up, we'll do 2 more, then we'll get out of it, Matt, I promise. Top Lift 91. What do you guys think of the chances? Chances are Fable gets delayed this year, given GTA 6 impending release. Do you think a lot of other games will shift/delay dates to avoid going toe-to-toe with GTA? Yeah, obviously games are gonna move, and we've seen games move. I think you're gonna, now that Take-Two have put out like Borderlands release date and things like that, I think you're gonna see games move closer to like games like that, because they're gonna be like, well, that means it's not GTA.
Yeah.
I don't think Fable's ready anyway. I don't think Fable's gonna be delayed because of GTA 6. I mean, Fable's gonna be delayed because I don't think it's ready, if I'm honest.
Oh God, it's in my my fantasy pick. I hope it's
that
not
was-
delayed.
You
that
have
was
a
so
lot of
dumb.
games in your fantasy pick that are like question marks.
Yeah, I know. I've gone like, mine is like either it's definitely coming out and it's going to at least get like mid-80s, or it's not coming out this year. That's where my fantasy critic is at the moment.
Can we have a quick discussion about Fantasy Critic?
At the end.
We're going to. You haven't
Okay,
been
cool,
here for
fine.
a couple of weeks. We'll get there at the end. I promise.
Apologies.
I promise. No, you keep messing up my flow on my podcast. We're gonna fight. It's also your podcast, but we're gonna fight. All right, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, that's right. You raise
One
your
more
hands.
question. We didn't answer that question at all, but it's fine. Xbox are now giving Steam both Indiana Jones and Great Circle. Xbox are now giving Steam players of both Indiana Jones: The Great Circle and Avowed, that's definitely how that was meant to read, a way to carry over their save progress via Xbox Cloud. Players who have started on either platform can move their progression across outside of Play Anywhere, so Steam could, or Game Pass. Do you anticipate similar cross-play single-player save progression, bridging transfers across more platforms, e.g. Amazon Luna, PlayStation, Nintendo, GOG, Epic Game Store? This is a good question. Orange Cookie Man, and does relate back to what Chris said. I didn't know this was a thing, so thank you for bringing this to my attention, boys. This is huge. Huge.
Yes,
For me, huge.
for first party games, very big. I don't think you see a lot of third party games because Ninja Gaiden 2, which came out, you couldn't. It was a patch or two behind on the Xbox app on PC, and the reason that is because you cannot have saves on different patches transfer. You're not going to really see a whole lot of third party games utilize that. I'd assume super well. I'm sure there'll be some where it's like you're going to be on Game Pass, they're going to incentivize them, and you'll get that. But other than that, I don't think you'll see that super often, if at all, from third parties.
To piggyback off of that, let's not forget the fact they want to sell you an extra copy on PC. So third party, Xbox, this makes perfect sense, especially with their we want to help everyone initiative and gaming's for everyone and blah, blah, blah. Great for Xbox. I'm glad they're doing it. It's very cool. But for a Capcom, they want you to buy it on Xbox. I know
this is not you buy it on Xbox and you get it on Steam.
I know.
Got it.
I'm still saying,
got it.
I still think it's a case of they want to incentivize you to buy it again. Maybe you're right. I guess you still have to buy it again either way, right? So it doesn't really. Yeah. Maybe they do it there. Maybe I flip my argument. Maybe they do start doing it more because it will incentivize you to then want to buy it more on Xbox. Go on, Dismal.
Ubisoft, they already do this standard, and it's one of the things I mentioned near the beginning. It's like it's a great quality of life thing. Of like you play it on console and it's like, all right, cool. I can play it in the living room, and my save is there. And then as soon as I go want to play it on PC and get all the fancy graphics up in my room, I could just carry on my playtime. And it's built into the game, and it's fantastic. Do we see more people doing it? I think maybe, but I don't think it's going to be a huge like push from the industry to do it. I think it'd be like those people that feel like it's a good, like, I think Xbox are the perfect company to do it because they are very much like play where you want, carry your plays anywhere. We'll build it into our first party game. So even if you want to pick it up on Steam, if you don't want to use the Xbox store and you want to buy it on Steam, you can do that, but you can still carry on your save from your console version. It's just another quality of life thing that I think is a great addition. But I don't think it's going to be like something that's going to be picked up by everyone en masse, which is a shame because I think it's a great addition.
PC players.
Oh, go on, Corsair.
Really quick. PC players are really good guinea pigs with patches, and if you do this, they no longer become guinea pigs for patches, and console players become guinea pigs for patches as well, which take notoriously like longer to get a patch approved to be on the system, and that's the only reason I can think of like certain companies being like, no, we're not going to do that, especially if they have a lot of updates for early access games, stuff like that.
I got nothing to add.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, we'll do more questions next week. I don't think I did notice that no one responded to Crash's thing in the Discord, by the way. Not a single question. Do not disrespect Crash like that. Make sure you ask questions in the Discord if you haven't already. We've got one question? No, I think that's it. No, we did all the questions for this week. We got no questions. No questions for next week's show. I'm telling you right now. If we get no questions by next week's episode, it'll be an hour-long episode. You're not getting 2 hours from us anymore. Yeah, I said it. I will shut Despawn up at every moment. Is that what you want from me? I'll do it. Damn. Fantasy Critic, Despawn, talk to me.
Let's go from the 16th of February, which I think is the last week we got the updates. We got Dollar Slice Games picked up Borderlands 4 for $8. Dollar Slice Games also picked up The Midnight Walk with a bid of $11. Despawn Games, hi, that's me, picked up Blueprints with a bid of $2. Also picked up The Altars with a bid of $1. And picked up Light No Fire with a bid of $1. Dollar Slice Games then picked up Fatal Fury City of the Wolves with a bid of $1. Fixer's Grindhouse picked up Mouse PI for Hire with a bid of $1. He then also picked up the unannounced Call of Duty with a bid of $1.
Risky.
And risky. I mean,
Very.
yeah, the new era of Xbox. Will it come out? Who knows? We'll see. Also, will it be a good game? And then finally, Fixer's Grindhouse also picked up Shinobi Art of Vengeance with a bid of $1.
Risky, but I like it.
I like it. It's a bold choice, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Matt, you wanted to talk about it, so what's the matter? Talk to me.
I have 2 problems, right? Mouse PI. How the fuck have you heard about this game, and why are you bidding on that?
What do you mean? How have I heard about it? I
He's
work
definitely
in the
seen it on,
games in.
TikTok
I
and
work in the
whatnot.
games industry. Number one. Number two. I'm pretty sure it was shown at Xbox Showcase,
Maybe.
which is why. And number three, I think IGN just did their IGN first on it, if I'm not mistaken. And I went, that seems like a game that some nostalgia people are going to absolutely love. And that could review in the high 80 pluses. That seems like some easy points for me. I bet you none of these idiots have bidded on it. I'll take that one for free. What are you going to do? You going to fight me for it? Because I'm waiting for a challenge. I've been waiting.
I know it was on the fence, and I was like, do I go for it? Do I not? Do I go for it? Do I not? I think like it comes out in the same year as Doom. After Doom, that could hurt it because it's a boomer shooter. It's a run and gun. It's going for a very different vibe. I get that, but like, I don't know. I think it
heard it with critics.
That's the question.
I think if Doom comes out and Doom's really well received, and Doom does a lot of stuff to push that kind of genre, I guess, forward, I think Mouse PI might come out then and feel a bit dated, a bit more dated than it would have.
You're also comparing an indie versus a AAA.
Totally. I get it.
Visually and art style is like where that game would like thrive, and that's where people would go like, oh, this is amazing.
Look,
it's a brand new experience. It's worth playing, etc., etc.
I think you get points. I just don't know how many points. And like, I was kind of weighing up that like, is it worth it thing.
Well, talking of points, point check. Currently, Despawn Games is at 27 points. That is 15 points from Citizen Sleeper 2 and 11 points from Avowed. Fixer's Grindhouse currently sitting at 11 points with Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
Let me just interject real quickly. Absolutely pissed by that, by the way.
Yeah.
That was my 90s critic. That, to me, that is you're telling me Citizen Sleeper got more points than Civilization. Madness. That's all I got to say. Madness.
I can talk about it, but I have been playing Civ. I don't love it. So
I got off the code for it and said no.
That's fair.
Carrying on, Dollar Slice Games currently sitting at 10 points for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, currently sitting at 80. I'm shocked by that. And finally...
Whoa, slow down.
Okay.
That is low.
I expected it to be like 84.
Yeah.
But you say that, Civilization 81, bro.
Yeah, but Civilization changed core mechanics that like
Yeah,
hardcore
yeah.
fans love.
Yeah, they did a lot of changes to that system.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't like it's a bad quality game. It's like they fundamentally changed what people loved about it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I guess you could make the argument for Yakuza the same thing to a degree, I guess.
Yeah.
Not really.
I mean,
carry on.
from turn-based to hack and slash, yeah. And then finally, 19 points. Despawn game sucks. 19 points from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
The
An
highest
89.
point tally. Highest point tally out of all the games so far.
It's fine. He has baby steps, guy.
I know, and I really wanted it.
Who locked it in? Who locked that in?
I did.
Crash kind of picked me on baby steps.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I wanted to talk about because there's a certain like ethics to this game, right? For example,
No, not with this group of idiots.
What is the first? Explain what the ethics are, and then we can go.
Yeah,
over it.
then we can tell you why you're wrong.
So I'd forgotten that I'd picked Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Mm-hmm. I then got code in and started playing it and went, fuck, this is good. I need to go get this in my Fantasy Critic. Then realized already had it. Chill out, Matt. You're fine. But in hindsight, that move feels slightly unethical to have the game for review. And okay, if
You gotta
we're
remember-
agreeing that that's open season,
Wait. So let me get it straight. Let me get it.
I was just going to say.
already told like a month early.
Yeah.
I think you have to wait till the week before release.
so for example, then.
No, because
He's like-
what I was good. Let me tell you. Let me just land this one.
Yeah.
We all have the ability to get codes early. Every single one of us
Absolutely.
can get access. Like Crash, you don't,
Absolutely.
but you can 100% reach out and tell them that you do stuff for my Xbox and me or MXAM.
Absolutely.
We all have the ability to get codes early.
And I get denied.
You probably will get.
get
I'm
denied.
vetoing this
I
rule.
get denied.
No.
Vetoing this
You
rule.
will- No. Wait a minute. I got denied. I'm not going to say who, but I've reached out for codes for all of us, right? I got denied the other day for something. But Despawn is 100% correct. You have the ability to reach out to the US PR teams, say, hey, I work for da-da-da-da-da. Can I get a code for da-da-da-da-da? You choose not to.
This is completely different. I'm
it's
fine
not.
with this being a rule. Oh, it 100% is different
Explain why.
because you're in the industry and you constantly do it. You've been doing it. You have connection.
Fresh. You've been on this podcast for years.
I'm a mysterious individual.
Yes,
You are, yeah.
100%. I don't disagree.
That sounds like a you
don't
issue than a
use
rule
your
issue.
Influence. That's your
Right.
decision that you don't use your influence.
It's okay, Crash, because you watch Despawn flip his shit now when I explain how I'm about to fuck him over and he's going to change his mind about this entire rule. Because I want to counterpick South of Midnight, having previewed South of Midnight,
That's
Do it.
fine.
which feels unethical to me.
No. Look, guys.
We use the
guys,
knowledge we have
guys.
to hand. Put it this way.
Okay, so wait. I picked Assassin's Creed after my preview.
Yeah,
What,
you
so
got
I
to
was
point.
wrong to do that?
No, it's fine.
You would have picked Assassin's Creed either way.
Yeah, you got to
that's
remember.
true.
Put it this way, Matt. If none of us had access to South of Midnight and we all just watched the previews of other people, we could make a decision off that instead. We make a
only
decision
that,
on
by
the
the
knowledge
way,
we have.
let me-
It's like,
Hear me, no, allow me really quickly. Chris, did you not play Elden Ring? I didn't get into the beta. You did. So could you not then, for say a different game, be able to go, oh, I really like this game. The beta's really good. I'm gonna buy it.
Here's the difference. The information I have about the beta and when I got it would be publicly accessible to everybody. Maybe if I got in a closed beta, maybe, but here's the thing, Fix. I want to be a little baby right now.
I know.
So I'm just gonna...
And I tell you why I have no issue with this, by the way, is because if you don't like it, challenge someone for the game.
No, I realistically, jokes and memes aside, I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything like realistically incorrect about it. We all have our ear to the ground.
We all know when the release date was. We could have saw Kingdom Come Deliverance and went, Matt, battle me. And remember, if you can't make it work in a time point, you lose the game.
Is that how we're doing it?
Yes, you got to make that time work.
Okay.
Obviously, if Matt's away, I'm not going to be like, Matt's in different country. Let me.
So
I'm waiting
there are
for
some
Fix to
ethics,
go.
We
I
have
want
FX.
to go to Texas next time.
I'll bring my
I got this
laptop,
list of
bitch.
games.
I'll bring my laptop and you'll be the one hosting the stream, and I'll be sat there going, perfect. I ain't gotta run a stream. Remember, I ain't gotta run a stream. I get to just focus in. Nah, bro, there's no ethics in this. Not at all.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta end this podcast, so let's plug and get ourselves out of here. Matt, we'll start with you. What you got to plug this week?
I'll do a real one for once, shall I? If you're interested in South of Midnight and the lore and the monsters and the whole thing, we got an exclusive interview with the narrative lead and one of the head writers of Compulsion Games over on the FGS YouTube channel. So go check it out. Please.
Perfect. Teaspoon, what you got to plug?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a recent review that went out for Avowed. Completely spoiler free, so don't worry about any story stuff. But yeah, you get my honest thoughts after 40 odd hours in the game. Yeah, go check it out over on the MXAM YouTube channel.
Crash.
It's well good.
I mentioned it earlier as a bit. Podcast reviews. We have not had a podcast review over here in the States since the new year. I would love to see some new reviews, some new faces, some old faces who found some new phones to leave reviews on. 5 stars. You can talk all the shit you want. You dislike the fact that I messed up the podcast earlier. Leave a review telling me you dislike the fact that I messed up the podcast earlier. That's absolutely fine as long as you leave 5 stars.
5 stars indeed. 5 stars indeed. My big plug this week is I've started a new YouTube channel. You may not have seen it, or you might have saw it. It's nothing that exciting, I'll be honest. But Twitch is moving a little bit crazy with the way they do VODs and how they host their content now, which has made me lose entirety of faith in them. So I am now uploading all of my VODs to a separate VOD channel, which is MC Fixer VODs. If you're someone who enjoys watching live streams, but you want to watch it at your own leisure, I think YouTube's a better place for that sort of thing. I have got 5 hours of me playing Yakuza. You pirate Yakuza like a dragon in Hawaii, or whatever it's called, bloody name. Go and check it out. I would appreciate it. Going to try and get the subs up on that as quickly as humanly possible. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do consider going and hit the subscribe button. I will comment on this week's video with that channel. So anyone watching the YouTube video, you can just click the channel from that thing. So there you go. You'll see the channel there. Yeah, appreciate you all. Thank you all for watching another week of MXAM, my Xbox Me podcast. And we will see you again next week. Good boy.